What happened while we were away, brought to you by A Time for Consequences. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard released a damning series of evidence since we last spoke, detailing how the Obama administration colluded with the Hillary Clinton campaign during and after the 2016 election to formulate and promulgate the Russian collusion narrative, which of course besieged the first Trump White House. Included in the evidence is a newly declassified intelligence community memo in the immediate aftermath of the 2016 election, which stated the intel community's belief that Russia did not successfully interfere with that election. That memo was scuttled as it made its way up the chain of command based on quote-unquote new guidance. It's just one of many smoking guns Gabbard unveiled late last week, and she says there's more coming.
There's no question in my mind that this intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered be published, which contained a manufactured intelligence document. It's worse than even politicization of intelligence. It was manufactured intelligence that sought to achieve President Obama and his team's objective, which was undermining President Trump's presidency and subverting the will of the American people. So yes, next week we will be releasing more detailed information about how exactly this took place and the extent to which this information was sought to be hidden from the American people, hidden from officials who would be in a position to do something about it. And that's really the point here that I think is most important, Maria.
The Wall Street Journal, citing a source named Trust Me Bro, dropped a story late last week detailing a supposed birthday letter written by President Trump to Jeffrey Epstein on the latter's 50th birthday, featuring a hand-drawn sketch of a naked woman. Apparently, one of the things Trump wrote was a fictitious conversation written between Trump and Epstein, written in the third person, wherein Trump uses the word enigma, which is definitely something Trump says regularly. Trump has sued the Wall Street Journal for defamation. The Department of Justice has sacked Southern District of New York prosecutor Maureen Comey. That's the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey. Why it's happening in July and not January is beyond anybody's comprehension. Israel apologized late last week for a deadly strike on Gaza's only Catholic church, which killed 3 people. The Latin Patriarchate of Jerusalem, which is jurisdiction for the Roman Catholics in Gaza, said the Holy Family Church was struck by Israel on Thursday morning. The office of Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that, quote, Israel deeply regrets that a stray ammunition hit Gaza's Holy Family Church. Every innocent life lost is a tragedy, end quote. U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee visited the Christian-Palestinian town of Taiba in the West Bank on Saturday, which has been the scene of several attacks by settlers in recent weeks. Taiba residents and local church leaders said the town had experienced an upsurge in settler harassment recently. They pointed to an arson attack, which they said was committed by extremist settlers next to the ruins of the Church of St. George in the town last week as the most serious incident so far. Ambassador Huckabee said in multiple statements there must be harsh punishments for those responsible, including a veiled jab at Israeli authorities, reiterating there must be punishments and not just reprimands. Back at home, there's now a formal push within the Republican Party for amnesty. Here's Florida Republican Representative Maria Salazar pushing the Dignity Act.
President Trump, sir, the same God who saved you from death in Pennsylvania 1 year ago and who put you back in the Oval Office against all odds is the same God Almighty who millions and millions are begging to for some type of dignity, not amnesty. Sir, I believe that you could be for immigration what Lincoln was for slavery and Reagan was for communism. You are a businessman who understands our economy needs a reliable working force in areas where other Americans don't participate. You stopped Iran on its tracks. You stopped China from eating our lunch. You took the economic oxygen away from Maduro, and you signed the BBB the day that you said you were going to sign it. You have been called to do this.
The WNBA All-Star game featured players who took the floor to warm up with shirts with words written on them, "Pay us what you owe us." The WNBA, as you know, has never made a profit. Speaking of female ingrates, CBS has canned Late Show host Stephen Colbert. The network says the move was made purely for financial reasons. Some reports indicate Colbert was losing the network upwards of $40 million a year. And finally, pro golfer Scottie Scheffler won the Open Championship for the first time in his career over the weekend, adding to what has been a dominating run In that sport for that American, Scheffler has been increasingly open about his faith in recent years, saying recently that golfing, as good as he is as it, doesn't really fill the hole in his heart the way things like his faith and family do. After winning the Opens, Scheffler was joined by his family, including his toddling son, to add some wholesomeness to the victorious moment. It was the genesis for this new tear-jerking Nike advertisement, which showed Scheffler with his small son on the links with the words, "You've already won." And then a second frame with Scheffler swinging his club with the caption, "But another major never hurt." Compare that Nike marketing to their marketing 5 years ago, and we see you, Nike. And that's what happened while we were away.